nice. And this is like all the way 6 miles outside of Bishop on the northeast side, basically. White Mountains. So again, this is gonna all be pictures, but I just want to check in because I managed to like make a dentist appointment, and Eki, the duck was swimming here and then it's gone. So hang on, let me check where this is. Oh, there she is. Hi, Eki. Hi. So she's swimming here happily. There are these like roads that like partly serve as like overflow for like the creek. Yeah, I'm really happy. You can see Guinea. You can see Guinea today. Yeah. Oh yeah. You get very happy about that. um, so I just want to say again. I managed to make a dentist appointment for next week on the same day in the same location actually, or city in San Diego, and it's a special clinic. It's a clinic for people with autism and other mental health issues, and so I'm really blessed that I've overcome all my obstacles to get to the point that I picked up my phone, and that really has to do with Joe. Hi, Joe. I just wanted to say hi because I get so excited about when I accomplish something, and I managed to set up a dance appointment next week at a specialized clinic for people with autism and other mental health issues, and it has been 4 years. These raised are here to get a surgery done in Auckland, and the jaw joint was dislocated in and then fractured here, but that was very hard to detect, and so there is no more jaw joint actually. And you see, this is supposed to sit like this, and it's not this, and this teeth completely moved up. The next me awake, I cannot eat a lot, but I'm so happy because it's actually my connection to the YouTubes, like and the viewers that have been able to hang in there and overcome things, because the feedback that I get from y'all, just a simple question of like, hey, have you eaten? It just snaps me out of another 8 hours of just like staring and worrying and be completely like kind of in a zone of like, I can't get out of this. I don't know how to do this. And it doesn't mean that I'm still doing it all, but it means it's a little easier to turn around. So the sunset's gonna be really nice, and we'll be okay. There's one person there. She moved the van because that was actually the place we're normally at, and I needed to be near the water, so I drove a mile around or something to be in a little less visited than over there, because they do have to drive a mile around. So where's Eki? Eki, she's still there. Mommy. So now I actually have to collect wood for to make some food to save some gas. I don't know if you call it butane or gas. For the rest of the weekend, to make sure that I can cook on the stove if I need to. Yeah, it is awesome here where I'm at, Joe. It's like heaven. It's like, this is why I call this my home for the last 3 years or so. It's just there's so much space and so much peace, and that not more many people, homeless people, know about this, because all the people who I show the pictures to, they want to come over, and yeah, it's possible. It's actually with a road like a ride share, or people will, they come up here a lot to like be there for the weekend, so there's always a ride back out, you know. You don't get stranded here because people don't want to come over. There are always people. And then the health springs, they're like so many. So I'm not going to go to Mammoth Lakes this week, but when I come back from San Diego next week, and that will be even opening a bigger world of like where I always spent my like spring and fall basically. Because I haven't been there in the summer, and I was there in one winter 2 years ago, and this was not doable. And I wasn't even in a car; I was in a van. So um, here, this area is going to be very hot, just like Slab City next week. In April, it's going to be running into the 90s and the hundreds. So then we go up north, which is actually right ahead of us. That's where it's 393 up north to Mammoth Lakes, 40 miles up, and it's 7,000 feet higher. So I said miles yesterday, feet. It was feet. um, so that gives a little bit of coolness till June and July. Then the summer really kicks in there, and I'm kind of supposed to move on. Now, I have discovered that other states are much cheaper to live in, and there's much more space to live publicly. So, um, I I wouldn't mind living and seeing the nice areas that I saw last year in Washington and Oregon. Um, I want to make sure I have adequate access to my health care, and I anticipate that it's going to take a little longer than just like two two um, two appointments. So I might need to skip a year going out of state, but it would be very helpful and actually money saving. So even if I could go 3 months, that would save like 30%. Just I can use that to spend on things that I really need. That are not just basic. Um, and just the gas being like under $3 or maybe like, yeah, I think 2.15 or something. It's very different than 4.25 or even $5 if we go up here in Bridgeport. So 80 miles up, it's $5. So it's kind of a lot. Um, Hummy's starting to play. Go, Hummy. Go, Hummy. They're climbing out of their dip. They really do understand that they're gonna see Guinea again and again because they notice that I'm getting there. No, I haven't found out. Amanda was fine with it, but I didn't want to bother her. Um, I didn't want to bother her too much because she helps me so much with it, and I just need to know if I could actually get $5 for like that. But there is no like hurry about it because it was like $40 more left. She said, and I have actually a few weeks to like set that up. I hope to be able to see a computer actually so I can do it a little bit better. I have to say, with my skill set, it's very frustrating to be just on a phone and not really knowing enough about YouTube just yet. Again, because I really started this originally just, you know, to actually document for my friends that if something were to happen right now, that they can some kind of funding or support. Even setting boundaries of like, take care of yourself first before we can't do anything else otherwise. I just want them to know that I've used that for the best and that I spend the time that I get in the best places. And I hope one day that if they have to get the travel that they can get places, especially if I'm not there anymore, and that they can be in a place where they know I've been at peace. And that's actually the real truth why I started to document. Um, Together with like the ongoing harassment and that I needed to get my voice back. I really want to leave a legacy behind of like how I um in an authentic, like, I don't know how to say that, authentic 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 way living my life, and that I really try to make the best of it. Because I I don't take it for granted that they're in my life, especially if they don't have to write me with like, sorry, we can't help you anymore because we have our own hardships. I mean, it's like, no, no. Like I said, there are people like you coming through. But again, partially because they stopped the help, and I was like, okay, I need to start thinking of other ways, and I'm actually really stuck. I'm not really able to like even get to the. It became more. I love doing it actually. I don't know. When I saw Cardi B talking whatever juice she has in her hand or smoothie or coffee, she really likes it too. Like, and she has a lot to say, you know. So, um, thank you, Joe. I'm also glad that you like are part of me. Um, Also, Joe, just so you know, accepting help for me is kind of like a process of like being able to practice how I can practice control. So please have patience with it or whatever. And now it's just like okay, we'll create a plan and in a way that it doesn't need to jeopardize my future, basically. Um, but so you know that it's a process. Like I had I had my dogs with Days for 2 days while I was going shopping, and that allowed me actually to move forward to uh, place the dog temporarily with someone else. So that and that I realized that they were still there, and that not every person would just take my dogs. Um, then I just will see her this Monday, and that's actually what I needed this summer. That these people just like took advantage of me, and they lied about it, and then it's like, yeah, is it help or is it really really traumatic? And every time I ask for help, it's kind of like, nah. One of the most every dollar you spend on me, it's like not spent on your family. So I really appreciate if people go out of the way to share a little bit. I wouldn't really um like feel comfortable asking yet of like I just don't have like the work level is just not like up to scale yet. I can do that a little bit better, and I want to get up to there. What I'm gonna eat for dinner, mm, go ahead, Papa. You could ask it. Go ahead. You want to go in? It's tiring. You're tiring. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, Papa. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go, Sil. Some potatoes on the fire, and then the protein. I don't know. Oh, I need to go to menu before we leave on Monday. What are you doing, Bob? What do you need? Need you rest? Just rest. I'm gonna go over there. It stops. It's actually here's the border, sort of like the connection of the phone, and I'm kind of glad. This is one of the few two places that there is reception for my phone carrier. So um, at the hot springs, and then here because even when you look ahead here, uh, 7 miles there is like down, and I can see where we normally are. It's called the Fish Slough, and the Red Bluff, and it's a great climbing area. But there's not a lot of like reception, phone reception, and to sit there stuck in the heat for like 3 or 4 days, it's kind of killing. So I'm really glad that this was available because, like I said, the other person there was here, and I've seen her before here. So I definitely didn't want to take her spot for like that she's used to. Um, but um, what are you gonna eat, Joe? Ha! Hummus? Why? Just eat. Here, did I pick up the food? What are you gonna eat, Joe? Like actually, I wasn't really gonna eat at all. I just, I'm like, I don't know why I was like making that up about the fire because I'm like, there's not a lot of fire to make a fire. I love making a fire because one, it took me 3 4 years to really make a good fire in all circumstances and weathers. And believe me, if it's 3 days raining and you have nothing but canned food or food that you need to heat, like ramen, you can't really crunch on the ramen. Then after 3 days, um, oh here, stuff. It's really good for. watch that one in a minute, but come pop. I have to I have to watch the if I'm gonna use it. I'm not sure I can enough to use it. Okay. So let's put it there and then we can have food out because there are not bears here particularly, but there are bears in Mammoth Lake, and they just sit in the bushes right now. They're sort of waking up, and they're just like, oh. But they do come and look for the food. So, oh yeah. And I'm gonna fix the car a little bit. I'm gonna put this one up. This is an extra one that's been replaced. I'm gonna put this in the back instead of this. This one is kind of done. My dog had fun. Um, and then I'm gonna replace the flag people had ripped apart last time. Thought you like this area, and then when it's cold, it allows the heat to stay in a little bit better. In that sense, metal and cars aren't really set up in this way to like be that warm unless you like take precautions like this. Um, oh, that sounds good. Mashed potatoes with ground beef, gravy, and mushrooms. Yup. That kind of inspires me to make something. I have some canned chicken. Yeah, I'll make the canned chicken and some potatoes. Else, I'm not thinking. I didn't have a lot. So for the people who just tuned in, I wanted to check in back in. I'm having some trouble with the data use and then the battery, but I just want to let you know that I've been working really hard to get myself back into healthcare and access like better care. And if I hadn't checked in the walk and talk one or two about really go back to care again for 18 months, like, and that could have cost me my life. So even if that I would not have gone back. But because I reached out and there are people who are like, kind of, they understand where I'm coming from or they ask the follow up questions, it allowed me to make changes. Visit Texas. For the next video, there is uh, an area in 10 acres for like $100, or maybe $200 a semester. And I would love to I'd love to check out Texas because I hear it's actually really like laid back and stuff. Oh no, don't cancel. This is kind of still crazy. I would just actually be in a chat room with Joe. Oh, I'll probably do that over the weekend if I know how to set that up. Oh, I want to show you the structure here. And the key is in there. And the window is open so they can't lock me out. Yeah, I Pop. Let's check the key. You ran a whole mile. That's good. I think this is for the cows or something, the cattle. Okay, when I see like this, like empty vast, like emptiness, like of all nature, it makes me calmer. Like I have ADHD and I am really hyperactive, and just to be in nature, it calms me down and less like overwhelmed with sensories, in like the city and stuff. So yeah, I hope y'all like get that a little bit. Like that's why it's so healing for me. Instead of sitting in a shelter in a city. Yeah, I'm gonna check this out quickly. Pop, what you see? I won't go too far inside because it's kind of like you break your leg. That's why I'm like, okay, how the cow's gonna be in there? And they like to target you there. Uh, wait, let me see. Oh, because they put even this thing. I don't know where they. I wish I just have a house. Hi, Papa. We would just build it as a house. Careful, Papa, because it's not that structured. You might fall through. And there's a lot of nails. Could you? Oh, help me cut out in the back. This is actually one of our first evening walks again. Except for then yesterday when I walked away to clean the trash and I set off my car alarm. And will be the next time. Maybe actually we should go in the weekend, like this weekend. So. I was actually out of gas for real, but I'll be able to get some more, so no worries. Um, but we're normally kind of 7 miles down in the Fislu. There's like these pockets where you can just camp, and like nobody really is supposed to really entering, and if they do, it's like you can just like tell them to go. But here, they naturally can. Um, yeah, it is a very old structure. I don't know. They naturally can just drive up and be here, just like I did with that other lady. She has no way to ask me to leave. And normally I wouldn't do that, but I needed the access to the water for the duck in the next couple of days and not losing more gas that I don't have. So it worked out. But over there, it's like these climbing rocks and lava, and so I want to show that it's oh. It's kind of, I feel like it's built by hand as well. Like, I don't even know if it's actually part of, there's no like sign on it that it's from the government. Uh, and sometimes they have cattle grazing here in different areas of the public land. So, yeah, I wish they would have like something like this as a house, and I would fix it up, and we would be very happy. It doesn't need to be big, just in the middle of nowhere, and like just enough to be warm or cold in summer. Because it's kind of funny. I realize why we have houses and why we live in communities is precisely because when something happens, um, you still have a house or maybe the car instead, or like the any extreme weather circumstances. This after 1 or 2 days, if it hasn't been already very bad the same day, becomes this almost undoable in a vehicle. Whereas, like, if you also have a house, then you can switch that a little bit. So I definitely realize that it gives you a little bit more buffer and resiliency to be able to live in communities and be having a roof over your head. And yeah, maybe it's also a little bit because I I have to talk much more now while I'm accessing to care of how I arrived today where I'm at today, and it's actually been really great and growing. Yeah, I used to be too traumatized to like talk in a normal way. I would kind of like Raymond talk like Raymond. Bob, sorry, I'm looking for the dog. Bob, he'll be fine. Again, they can run loose. Sometimes he runs all the way over there to the fields, to the cows there, and then he runs back, doing absolutely nothing. Yes, yeah, you'll run down. Let me get some wood. It's again, I shouldn't be picking it up from the land there. Let me see if I have some wood over there that's not on the land. The sage bushes are not like the best firewood, to be honest. It's like birk and other wood that really makes a good fire to cook like pasta on it. Like you need to heat the water and the pasta. So that's how I've learned to like kind of know what kind of wood I need to use and for how long for which kind of meal. Like compared like sweet potatoes that are getting really very pretty quickly. And those things I didn't know. And sometimes I even like would have to do so much effort, and then the food would fall in the fire. And again, if you haven't eaten for 3 days or been raining, it's like really the last thing you can use, especially if it's the last food or something. So that teaches you real quick. Like you grow real quick. And I asked my mom always if they could go to Girl Scouts, and they're always like, why do you need that? Like, and nobody used those kind of skills. If you only had known. um, and to be honest, when I was younger, little, this is what I would do. I would go out in the morning and walk with my animals for hours, and I wouldn't even come home most of the time. My mom wasn't really a nice person. She's kind of a Trump person, to be honest. Like, exactly a Trump, the female Trump person. And very physically and mostly violent. And I just spent discovering things and keeping myself safe. And it's kind of interesting that I'm walking today as well the land in a way to keep myself safe, like to become like one again a little bit with myself. So enjoy it. Hey, Papa. Thank you, Joe. This is one of the plants I haven't seen too much here. And it's like, what is it? And then this is all sage, and like it's very different in the fish slough because it's a area that's rehabilitated. So yeah, again, I'm looking forward to show a little bit more. Hey, honey. There's not really a lot of wood. Yeah. Wait. I have my hand in there. I like to use small things because things because you can like control the fire better. And again, that's very handy, so you don't have things boiling over and stuff. I guess. Yeah, go ahead, Baba. Got throat cut. Like with the rocks, like the fireplace, basically. And again, when I have a fire on, I can stay up a little bit longer. Well, if there's no fire, it's kind of cool quickly in the desert. Okay, where would we make the fire? Oh, this is the fire. I need to save that in case. Hey! No, I just got back on. I charged the phone and then I used it to charge warm in here. I don't know if I'm doing a fire, guys. I've been on fire with my. I've been doing a lot. So I've been cleaning up the car, kind of, not like organized, but cleaning and then making sure that all the sheets and all are like. What are the dogs doing again? Um, and then her bed, her like like Aki's bed is like clean, but that's gonna happen every day. What I did more now is like take all the extra trash out and reorganize things because I'm not so good in organizing things. Basically, um, Pop, what are you doing? What do you mean? You got a lot of dust. Don't stand on the key for the program to get the alarm off, huh? So one of the things here on this space is that if someone would drive up and like start messing, and again, it's pretty terrifying to be woken up and then having to turn it off real quickly. I hurt my head actually this morning. I fell over onto the wheel. I fell over onto the wheel trying to um I have to get out of the car in order to turn off the alarm. My key doesn't work inside or at all. That was another $200 for nothing. Um Tyler, map like this is where we're at. The sun, that's the sunset is normally because normally there are like these Sierra and these flat kind of layered of layers of clouds that are being formed because of the different like air pressure air in the air and but not oh well. Um Tyler, great to see you. Um, oh, Philly. Very good boy. You can see Guinea. Yeah, you can see Guinea. Yeah, you see it. Yes, you are. Yeah, you miss her. Sure. Sorry. Go. Good job. There we go. Um, oh, there's more bowls of water. So, let me take the bowls of water out. What are you doing? Oh, you've allergies? Oh, yeah, we need to see the veterinarian one day. To pick up your medication. Yeah. Oh, sure. Oh, sure. Um, yeah, showing that stuff online. That's kind of crazy. I need to call AAA or figure out if AAA was taken care of from last month. Yeah. Okay, so then we're gonna put the babies back. The baby shroomies. Okay, this one has this. Yeah. This one is white. That's the mycelium. And that's number 7. Okay. Number 1 is more. Has more. This one is growing fast. Oh, let's put them there. During the day, they're upside down beyond the film screen, the sunscreen for the windows, so that they get the water evaporates a little bit, and it sets the process in. Because one, it wasn't warm enough, and then it wasn't. I don't want to say the Morse word again. The liquid, there wasn't enough liquid retained, but I just drew that out. This one is really good. This is number 8. Okay, this one is good growing. Tomorrow it'd be 3 weeks. Okay, where is it? That's annoying. Well, I guess it's not that important, I should feel. I don't think you're like, yeah, we missed a picture of non-growing museum. 9. I'm checking for contamination, to be honest, every day, so that they're not hanging around with the other jars. Uh, Number 4 is not growing. Wait, there's another number. Oh, number 5. Is number 5 growing? No, number 5 is not growing. And then number 2 is the one that started first, and they but who knows? Um, right here. You see the black, okay? Because it turned white afterward. But then I need to make sure that it stays to the bottom, that it touches the glass. Um, where is the cover? Pop, Pop, I'll spend time with you in a second, okay? Stuff. Yeah, we've been busy. Again, where is my phone stander? It's just disappeared again. This is also. And at night, I actually put them in the back of the sleeping bag to keep them warmer, because I realized it was very cold and that it actually stopped the growth. But okay, the screen setting up for the night, the car, and I keep it very simple. This one up the front, um, and it has a black side for description and at night, and then these on the side. Uh, the front windows, they don't cover them all, but I don't need that, to be honest, like unless we would go stealth in a city, but I haven't been able to do that anymore, for my own well-being, because once you're in the city like San Diego, people do call the police, and just having to be awake all night, sort of like afraid that your car's gonna be towed or ticketed, or it gave me too much stress. And if I'm here in this area where you're allowed to sleep, I don't care that we're a little bit out of town. I don't like 30 miles out and that we're just really stuck without gas at some point, or you know, but 5 to 10 miles, and that's why the Sierras are so awesome, because 5 to 10 miles out of town there is public land. Oh, don't be sad. You said about Guinea. Mm-hmm. So that was the setup. Like, actually, stuff, and then the back as well. The Like, where was it? I just had it. this. But it's kind of hard. It's kind of old. It's actually 18 months old. So, um, and that's kind of how I set up for the night. And then I use the light. I, I don't know if it continues actually. Who else is in the chat room? Instead of see, I'm gonna sit a little bit front. Um, you know the sky isn't as magic as normally, but it's like this orange, red, like pink straight shades. Maybe it's um maybe in a minute. I don't know. Um, because that's actually why I was on, and then I missed the sun going down, and then there are no colors this time. So I'm like, wait. Um. Oh, and in the back there, when I stand here, there's a road in the back. Hang on, because I'm standing on the like all the way there. There's a road going into the mountains. Maybe you can see it right there. And that is buttermilk. Buttermilk free to go here because again nobody's bothering you. Come, this is why we live here. Good job. Just chill. This is why we live outside, guys. Yeah, buttermilk is also a great area to climb. And I no, the happy and sad boulders are here. Um, down here, 7 miles down where the fish flew, the red bluff, there are amazing boulders like the happy and the sad boulder, and um, they have these pockets in the mountains because of the how yeah, just camp there. So again, this is just a short stop by, so I could see my new doctor on Monday, and then after next week, in a week, I'll be returning here for the rest of the month. I think. No, for sure, actually, because I don't want to be stuck up north, up south, and unfortunately, my dog might not be able to come with me. But um, I'll be back in a month for the other doctor's appointment, so that will be just 3 weeks later. And again, it has helped me to make better decisions. I realize that now. I've been very stubborn and hard to move around, and I saw that kind of with my friend Judd, who has mental health issues and is development delay. It's different if you deal with people who've either one. And then either way, whether you have mental health issues is different or mentally developmentally challenged of autism is a very different way to approach people. But then to move people to kind of to me to take better or differently responsibility over my whole life in a way that uh, like helps myself. That was very hard. Like I'm serious. This is me to move forward. Fine. Kind of lost like Judd. I just have a better way to hide it, and sometimes resources are a little bit like in a way to not always like meet the best like needs, but more like survival. And to be honest, I will get out of like kind of a OCD kind of way of like thinking. It's not meant very much out of the box, and this helps me to get out of the box a little bit. So I hope you have a great evening, Joe. I hope you did have a good dinner. That sounds really good. Um, I would say I'm hungry now. I'm not actually yet. um, I will have to go. 'Cause it's hard for me to talk. Um, it's not an emergency inhaler. It just reminds me that I need to take it until I switch medication. Um, again, when I'm alone, it's easy just to kind of zone out and wait. How do you? Yeah, I wish I was there too. I love to cook with people. That's what I used to do. Like Yeah, I think someone's just target shooting. Yeah, Hammy said it. I would love to come over and like cook with people. There's not a lot anymore, but oh yeah, I have a recipe that I want to share online. I got it from this Norwegian like teacher in Auckland, um, high school teacher I think, from Anja, and it's called Chipotle pumpkin quesadillas, and I added some stuff to it because that was really it. But put like cumin and shells and garlic in the pumpkin chipotle mix, and then I topped the whole quesadilla with avocado and cilantro or some other spice and some lemon juice, and it's always to go together at parties, and it's really easy to make. So I can make a big mix of like the pumpkin that I have sitting here, the pumpkin, and again I would tell people um but the recipe is really easy, and um so the recipe is really great and it's easy to make. Freeze them the quesadillas when I stop by. I need to drink more water. Hi Nova Star, or are you Nova Star from um have I met you last week? Because I I was really. Oh, well, that makes me understand. Um, be okay. But in person, I'm such a hoe, actually. I'm exactly the same Nova Star. Good in slowly introducing me into their right now. And again, in person, it's really hard to kind of introduce me to new people. And well, what are you gonna get to know each other about if oh, we haven't? Wait, there's another Nova Star. There's another Nova Star in Slab City. Oh, I thought it was you. Oh, Nova SS. Oh, I thought that. Oh, you know what the confusion is? I'm on Nova with Nova Star in on Messenger Facebook, and that is that name. She uses that name, that whatever it's called. The same, basically. I'm gonna see if I can fit Eki, the duck, real quick. Eki. Yeah. Hi, Eki. Are you happy? So normally you can walk over here. I don't know if I should do that tonight, just to show you all the camping space. The shoes are not on. But it was this high before there, and I realized that the car might be stuck because I see trucks driving through it, but I don't see like this record kind of cars drive through it. So then we drove all the way um, where those trees are, the first trees. Yeah. So, guys, that's funny. I'm on Facebook with someone who I met last week at Slab City, and it was one of the like more like open-minded, like diverse camps. And her name was also not also her name is Nova Star, and then on Facebook she has the same um, username basically as this person in my chat room now has as on YouTube. So, but they're not the same person. And then again, it sort of went well, but yeah, that doesn't mean that I lose all the control because responsibility, proactive. You will pay for it in any way, whether it's up the front or in the back. And I have no one else knows better that yeah that you always pay for it. So um, being able to take control as soon as possible and proactively really pays off. And so thank you again because I'll see my dog on Monday or yeah Monday I think, and for a few days. And again, that has given me control. This summer, when I was pushed in the corner and forced to do things that I didn't want, and I had no option, I had no control, and that is traumatizing in itself, I think, especially if it's about the beings that I take care of as my children. Again, they're not children, they're dogs, very big dogs, but my like the phone is actually disconnected here. So I'm really happy that I'm kind of moving to new decision. But that's where I met Nova Star last week, and um, oh, so I was there, and um, my friend was there. That you've seen in another video at the hot springs, and we were having an okay time, and then it was dark, and then this guy gave something. I thought it was like a cherry or something out of a jar, but I'm like, wait, what is that? And they wouldn't want to say anything about it. So then and I was like, oh shit, because I started feeling it coming, and I'll explain it another time. But I was like, okay, so you don't want to answer questions of like who you are and what it is, and then I asked someone else like how fast and how strong like is this working in? Because literally I felt it hitting me, and I walked off with the big dog, and I couldn't even make it past the toilet. I was laying on the floor, laughing, laughing, laughing. Finally, this being trauma free, like pain free. I was laughing there half an hour on the floor. And it was the best experience ever, but I wouldn't recommend it, and I wouldn't ever do it again in a way that I don't know what I was taking. And then my friend was like being all philosophical. It's probably were the shrooms as well, but she was like, "Oh, but is this like you?" He doesn't like any questions. Like, what are you talking about? I'm black out uh, if if I feel like it. And then she's like, I was like, but I don't walk around with like honey shrooms and I'm not telling them that it will like fuck you up the rest of the night. So then I went, she asked me to go dance, and I guess she has to all prepare me sort of like, well, we could go dance in a minute. It'd be great if you're there. And then I have to like for half an hour think about this. But this time I was like, no way. I was sitting on the roof of my car watching the meteorite shower. Um, I was dancing even on the roof of the car. I was so happy, just pain free happy. And so it went just a little bit over the side because I don't like to be kind of saying something and I didn't know what it was. Because yeah, before that went happened actually the 7 year ago assault, and so I know to be careful, even if but again, I don't know, but if Pop, what are you doing now? So on a eve, sorry, sorry guys, my dog is very much in love with me. So I've learned from that, but it was a really great experience, and that's where I met Nova Star. I hope I made a good enough impression. um, no, Pop, you and your belly rubs, come on. Yeah, Papa is my charm hot boy. Hot. Ah, no, seal. Stop now. Um, So I'm gonna say goodbye. I was really happy, glad to say hi to y'all. I'm gonna sit in the car, and there's not a lot of the. I think this is kind of the boundary here, the road. Um, no, actually, I know for sure because I tested it before. I just don't understand why I just parked there, not anywhere else. Um, we like I said, we're normally over there, like on the other side of the water, because there is more reception. Not because it's like a better location. Um, it's okay. We're fine here. Again, that's what I kind of love about public land, that it forced me to be sort of flexible. Um, good night, though. I love you too. Good. Seal. Stop now. Seal. What are you doing now? Here, I'm crying. Let me put some butt in my face. Pop, we're on TV. No, Seal, look. Papa, look. We're here. Papa, no, over here. I'm talking to the TV. Boo boo. Who's that? I know, I'm scared her. What you see, Pop? It's okay, don't worry, we're safe here. Hey, you don't have to be alert tonight. Don't, Pop. Leave it on me, to me though, Pop. Hey, I can take care of this. I actually had trained them not to react. Like that took like 3 years or something. And then yeah, they know how they're gonna get to my dogs. Yeah. Don't worry, Papa. Okay, love ya. No, pop, pop. Here goes. How do you take this off? Uh-oh. It's here. Oh, here, maybe. So take care. I'll be checking in soon, like tomorrow, or I don't have much gas to like charge the phone. Like I only have enough to make it to the gas station, but I may do that on Sunday because then I'm really fed up sitting here not doing like